Good morning, everyone. I am Vikas Kulshrestha, and today we are going to discuss one concept of machine learning in this tutorial. So let's begin with the presentation. So our today's agenda is we are going to discuss the concept of supervised learning. Fine. So just for the sake of the knowledge, there are three types of broadly classified the machine learning. One is the supervised learning, second one is the unsupervised learning, and third one is the reinforcement learning. Fine. So in today's agenda is we are going to discuss the concept of the supervised learning. So firstly, before going to its technical definition of the supervised learning, what I am going to do is that we'll be discussing it with the real-time a simple example. That and on that context, we are going to understand the real definition of the supervised learning. So let's begin with it. So this is a $1 million question, students. So what is machine learning? So what do you mean by the machine learning, or what do you mean by the supervised learning? So as the name suggests, in the first prima facie, if I want to analyze this word, this term, so I can say that it is some kind of learning which needs some kind of under supervision. So as it is the name suggests, it is a learning done under the supervision. We can say that. Fine. So how it happens and how we are going to understand the concept of supervised learning, that we are going to see in the following slides. So let's understand the concept of supervised learning by simple real life example. So for that I have just taken one example, one problem statement, that there is one person whose name is Ravi and he has to prepare one dish. We can say that a matar paneer for the guest. So there are let's say there are 5 guests, but there is one problem, there is one glitch in that he doesn't know how to prepare the recipe. So how to prepare the recipe of matar paneer, he doesn't know. So but the objective of the problem of this statement is that guests are going to taste the dish and they have to give their feedback, that they have to say whether the dish is delicious or not delicious. So if the dish is delicious, then it comes under the category of 1, and if it is not delicious, then we'll put it in the category of 0. So this is a very simple problem, and the simple problem statement which we are going to solve, as we are engineers, and that is our only responsibility to solve the problem. We are the problem solver. Fine. So let's move and let's see that how the Ravi has break up this problem and achieve its goal. So the first step he has to take is that he has to collect the information. So first of all, he has to collect the information that how to cook the matar paneer, or how to cook the dish, or just to get the information of the recipe of the matar paneer. So how he can get it? How he can get it? From the YouTube videos, but obvious, he can consult his mother also regarding it, and he can refer the cookery books also. So these are the some kind of resources from which he can he can aggregate the information. So this is nothing but the data aggregation part. Here aggregation means the collection of the data. So he can collect the data from the YouTube videos, or from his mother also, and from the cookery books. Based on that collection, what he is going to do is he has to make the ingredient list for the recipe. So that plays a very important role, students, because ingredient will ensure, and ingredient will tell that how much your dish is delicious or not, because that is the basic part of any dish. Whatever the dish we are going to cook, that is the basic part of it. So here in this dish, in our use case, in our example, what we are cooking is matar paneer. So here the first main thing is the vegetable. So that is the key features of the vegetables are, it has to be very fresh. Fine. The quality and the quantity has to be very accurate. So quality has to be very good, it has to be fresh, it has to be soft. There are other vegetables also, like peas also are there. First one is the paneer, second one is the peas, third one is we can say that ginger garlic paste, tomato purees. So all these have to be very fresh, and it has to be in a good quantity. Like as I already told you that we are inviting the 5 guests. Fine. And including Ravi, there are 6 persons. So we are going to make the recipe for we are going to make the dish for 6 persons. So we have to ensure that the quantity has to be very well balanced. Fine. Now second part is a very important part, that he has to collect, or he has to prepare the list for the spices. He has to collect the spices because these plays a very important role in that. One is the cumin, fine. Second one is the bay leaves. Third one is the black pepper, cardamom, turmeric, coriander powder, red chili powder, and salt to taste. Again, the key features are nothing but the quantity and the quality. Fine. So at how much quantity and at what time you have to put these ingredients will define the tastiness of the dish. So that has to be very precise, and it has to be very much taken care of it, and it has to be well monitored. Because if we are by mistake, if we are miss any kind of spices, then might be possible that we'll spoil our dish. So that plays a very important role as far as the tasteness is concerned for the dish. Yeah, might be possible that some people like spicy food, some people like non-spicy food. That has to be vary from person to person. Fine. So this is the thing. Now the important step comes, that during the preparation, Ravi tastes the dish just to ensure that the dish is perfect. So as we all know that even if we have seen in the videos, YouTube videos, that the chef during the course of the recipe, during the preparation of that recipe, chef taste the dish just to ensure that everything is fine, everything is well balanced. Okay, all the spices, all the vegetables are cooked properly or not, there will be no rawness in that. So just to make ensure that we have to taste it during the preparation of the dish. So that is nothing but the testing process. We have to taste it just to make sure that everything is well balanced. Fine. So and after that, finally what we are going to do is, the dish is served in front of guests and they have to tell whether the dish is delicious or not. So in this way, we have break the problem, and we have given the solution to the Ravi, and Ravi is now very happy, and he's got the feedback also from the guest. So a few guests said, okay, fine, it is very good, it is very delicious, because um, uh, they think that in their perspective the dish is delicious. Or might be possible few of the guests are biased, they are very good friend of Ravi, so just for the sake he can say, okay, yeah, fine, the dish is very tasty. So biasness also we can see that, and we can say the variances also. So these are the some technical things which will be discussed later on. So now in the context of the supervised learning, what we have seen or what we have expected from the previous example is that Ravi is nothing but the supervised machine learning model. So basically, what is the machine learning model? Machine learning model is when we combine the machine learning algorithm with the data set, then it creates some kind of model. So that model will predict the random variables values, or that will predict the results. So Ravi is nothing but the supervised machine learning model, which is trained by watching video, by consulting his mother, and by referring the cookery book. So first of all, what we have done, what we have created, we have trained the Ravi. So we have trained the model with the training data set. So this is nothing but the data set, and we have split the data set into the training data set and the test data set. So first of all, we trained the Ravi by watching the YouTube video, by consulting his mother, and by referring the cookery books. And based on that, he has taken the input variables. So these input variables are nothing but my ingredients, like vegetables, the spices which we have taken and which we have seen previously. So after taking all these input variables, these are in the machine learning context, these are called independent variables, or we can say the predictors, which are responsible for enhancing the quality of the dish. Or we can say that it will results that whether the dish is delicious or not. So during the preparation, Ravi has tasted the recipe to ensure that the dish is correct in his perspective. So here, in his perspective, plays a very important role, because what we are doing here, we are testing our model with the labeled data set. Because labeled data set is, we already know the output, we have already seen the input. Yes, these are the ingredients we have already seen. We know the output, that yes, we are going to we are going to prepare the matar paneer dish. So after at the end, the outcome will be the matar paneer dish. Fine. So we know the input, we know the outcome. So that is a labeled data set. Now, finally, what we have done is dish is served to the guest, and they predict whether it is delicious or not. Because Ravi has seen it. Ravi has seen it into the video. There are many things which the chef doesn't show in the video. There are some of the things can be hide also. So might be possible it will affect the quality of the dish also. So based on that, whatever the Ravi has understand and whatever the Ravi has trained according on the basis of the data, label data, he has prepared a dish and served it in front of guests, and they have predicted based on that whether the dish is delicious or no. So here the guests are nothing but my independent variables. We can say that the estimators or the response variables. Fine. So as you all know, you know about in like in the schools you have learned about the line equation y equals to mx plus c. So here x is nothing but the independent variables in machine learning. So here we are talking about the categorical, because categorical machine learning model we are talking about, because we have to judge it in the 0 and 1. We have to say whether it is delicious or not. We don't have any kind of numerical value. So if we have taken the numerical value, then it is comes under the category of regression. So supervised learning model has again broadly classified into two types. One is the regression problem, second one is the classification problem, and based on the outcome, which kind of outcome we want, we classified into the sorry we broadly divided into the category. Like here we are seeing the outcome is comes into the 0 or 1 one nature, so it comes under the categorical part. So it is a classification problem. Fine. So this is all about. Fine. So I hope that you are able to understand the concept of the supervised learning. So supervised learning is nothing but it comes under the labeled data set. So once we trained our model, after that we'll split the data set into a training model and a testing model. The division might be 80-20 according to the standard rule, and that 80% data set will goes into the training and it will train the model, and after that 20% will data will test the model, and we check the accuracy of the model. So there are so many things will come technically, like bias or variance trade-off. We'll see that in the future. So here we are just discussing the basic concept of the supervised learning. So I hope you are able to understand by using this example. Now we'll able to understand the technical definition of the supervised learning. So let's move on to it. So this is a technical definition which I have taken from the website. Fine. So it is just I have copied it from the website. It said that supervised learning is a type of machine learning in which machines are trained using well-labeled training data. So here I have already told you well-labeled training data, and on the basis of that data, machines predict the output. So what we have done the same thing. We have taken the data, we train the model, we test the model, and after that some random variables will come and they will predict what will be how my model performs, whether it performs good. If it performs good, then my dish is delicious, and if it doesn't perform good, then my dish is not delicious. So it comes under the category of 0 and 1. And the label data means some input data is already tagged with the correct output. So in the supervised learning, we are doing under the supervision. We know which kind we know the input variables and we know the outcomes also. Fine. So based on that, we train the model, and once the model is trained, will show him the random variables. So that will be the unseen data also, and that will be any kind of foreign data also. So on that data, how my model performs, that is the main thing. That is called the prediction of the model. So how my model performs and how my model has done the prediction, that accuracy will plays a very important role in it. So I hope you are able to understand the concept of machine learning, this part of machine learning, which is nothing but the supervised machine learning. So by this, I end up my session. Thank you.